Hi there, this is Leela from Big Hearts Tiny Vegans. Today I wanted to show you one of my favorite recipes. This is something I make all the time and it is actually vegan butter. People sometimes think I say butter weird because I'm originally from Yorkshire in England. I've lived in Canada half my life and I remember the first time I ever asked for butter, I used to say it like butter, and I remember asking someone, "Can I have some butter please?" And they gave me a glass of water and I just walked away and was like, thank you. I just kind of gave up. People from Yorkshire would say butter, or butter. Anyway, that's beside the point. The reason that I love this recipe is that it's a way that you can make butter that is way healthier for you. It's lower in saturated fats and it doesn't contain any palm oil. I'm going to talk a little bit about palm oil. Palm oil is actually responsible for a huge amount of our deforestation. It's also responsible for dehabitation of quite a lot of animals. That also includes the orangutan, I believe the pygmy elephant. There's a few other species as well. It's a terribly product for us to use because we are just cutting down rainforests in order to produce it, killing all these habitats, killing all these animals, and unfortunately palm oil is present in so many vegan products. So it is something that I try to stay away from at all costs if possible. Palm oil is not a sustainable oil, it's not sustainable for our planet, and therefore I try to just go, no palm oil, thank you very much. But this recipe is something that once I made it, I was like, this is a life changer. I can just make this. It's super easy to make. It's basic ingredients that I think most people have in their cupboard. So the first thing I do is grab 1 cup of refined coconut oil. So if you don't already know, if you get refined coconut oil, it doesn't actually have any coconut taste, but unrefined coconut oil does have a coconut taste. So because this is a butter, I definitely want to make sure that it doesn't have a coconut taste, which is a great thing to know for baking and cooking with coconut oil. So I basically just squish it in there, pack it full, and then pop it into a higher speed blender. I have a Vitamix, which is probably one of my favorite tool that I have in the kitchen. The second thing I do is grab some liquid oil that doesn't have much of a flavor. So I'm using sunflower oil. I like sunflower oil and safflower oil probably the best because they're lowest in saturated fat. So I also add that into the blender, along with half a cup of almond flour. Typically I buy almonds in bulk and then I'll blend them into a flour, but I just ran out of my big bag of almonds, so I bought this bag of almond flour for this purpose. Next step, we have the oat milk. So the oat milk, we just add in there a nice half cup plus 2 tablespoons, which is kind of a weird measurement, but I find it just needs a little bit more than that measurement. So I add kind of 2 tablespoons to that. You could also use another nut milk, or I just wouldn't maybe recommend using almond, but other than that, it should be okay. I then add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. This is something that I use a lot for making vegan cheeses as well, and it's high in B12, so a great thing to add into your diets. And along with that, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of sea salt. You can use any salt you like. I like Himalayan and sea salt. And then I also add in a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. This is my own, I call it scrapple vinegar because I make it from apple and pear scraps from our trees in the summer, and it's great. Maybe I'll post a recipe about that one day. And then we just add in a pinch of turmeric. This is also great for a little bit of colour, but it's also great because it has anti-inflammatory properties as well. And then we stick the lid on the high-speed blender and we take it over and we blend that up. Make sure it's nicely combined. I usually let it run for a minute or 2. And then your favorite reusable container. I like this little silver lunchbox thing that I've made into my butter container. And then I just scrape it out of that Vitamix and put it into that reusable container. I do find that having a rubber spatula is a very needed thing for a Vitamix, because otherwise it can dull the blades, and also sometimes it can be tricky to get things out, and this just really allows you to get everything out of there. I'm very into getting everything out of anything when I bake, so I like to use these things. Also, you can create these fun little circles. You can kind of have a lot of fun with this. It's a weird thing I like. So I just kind of make little circle shapes, and then when I like the circles, I'll just draw a line down the center, and it creates kind of like a pretty kind of professional looking butter pattern, if you will, but you definitely don't need to do that. And then I just stick the lid on and pop it in the freezer. You can also put it in the fridge, but I like to kind of put it in the freezer for an hour. And after an hour, as you can see, it solidifies, and then you can keep it in the fridge after that. And now I've just toasted some rosemary sourdough bread, and I'm just showing you the consistency of the butter that I've made there. And honestly, it's so delicious. It tastes exactly like a vegan butter that you would buy, but there's no palm oil, and it's full of really a lot healthier ingredients anyway. So there you go. Enjoy. I hope you like this recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell if you like recipes, if you like tiny houses, if you like watching us go on our adventure of minimizing our impact and maximizing compassion, because hey, this is what it's all about. This is why we're doing this. And with that, I hope you have a lovely warm winter, and by warm I mean not warm because of global warming, but warm just because you can stay inside and be warm and have like tea and a fire maybe, but like not a fire in the house unless you have a fireplace, a fire outside the house with tea. That's also nice too. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think if you tried this recipe. Peace.